So we finally got our grubby little hands on a review copy of Street Fighter 4.
Pure bliss.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And it's finally arrived in a new iteration, and it's actually a proper new Street Fighter. And that's all that needs to be said.
First of all, which is always a bit scary when it comes to like classic fighting series, even if it's Tekken or Soul Calibur or in this case Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. The controls are always a touchy subject.
That can be said for a lot of games, but again, Street Fighter is the game that started it all out, and Street Fighter demands perfect controls. Yeah. And the controls in Street Fighter 4 are actually awesome. It's just like the old games, half circles, quarter circles, dragon punches, everything. And the timing, of course, it needs to be perfect. Unfortunately, that demands good controllers, and the D-pad on the 360, which I played the beta on, is just horrible for the game. And the D-pad on the PS3 controller, the 6-axis, is actually awesome, but there I had the problem with the trigger controls that I tended to just hit far too often.
Just looking at Street Fighter 4, I haven't played it since last summer. Myself, but just looking at the game in motion, the graphics are beautiful.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. Everyone who has seen some of the screens have actually seen the pain expressions that are used every time someone hits a hard punch, a hard kick or something like that, and it just works in the game. And also, doing this cartoon universe allows them to use so many colors, and it just looks spectacular. Like, you know, fireballs are like huge explosions, and it's a graphic style that really suits the game.
So compared to certain other fighting series that decided to go from 2D to 3D, Street Fighter 4 is still 2D.
Yeah.
But how does it compare to the old games?
Favorable, actually. If you only play the older Street Fighter games for a couple of hours, you won't see the differences. But for everyone who has actually invested time in learning the techniques and everything, it's a really new game and really newly balanced. And of course, there are new characters added. There are 4 new characters that are selectable from the start, and there's a new boss that is just silly, bad, and horrible. But they have added the revenge gauge, which is actually the reverse of the super gauge that you normally charge up when hitting the enemy. And this just works that if you get beaten really bad, this powers up and you're able to deliver super attack. And also they added focus attacks that works in 3 different tiers that let you charge up an attack and actually disrupt enemy's combo. And it might seem really simple, but it just opens up so many techniques, and it destroys some of the old very passive gaming styles that some players had with the old Street Fighter games, and really forces you to be really aggressive, which makes for, of course, more fun. And also just the timing and the character size on the actual screen are just somehow different. So you really need to relearn the game. I was really surprised because I was expecting just to sit down, because I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 and 3, and just be able to master the game from the start. And no way, this is a new game so
Speaking of other players, which is always a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Talking about a fighting game. Single player versus multiplayer.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion?
It's just like in any other fighting game. This is definitely a multiplayer game. But it should be said, you will get punished badly when playing against the AI, because the AI is... I think they really brought in some good players to finally tune the AI, because you see the AI doing things that you would never see in early Street Fighter games, like using special attacks all the time to counter you.
Which brings us to the boss you were talking about.
Seth.
I'm impressed you made it this far.
He's one of the cheapest characters I've ever seen in a Street Fighter game. And he can do like Guile's charge-up moves, sonic booms, sonic kicks that you usually need to charge up for like a second or two. He can do it instantly, and he can do it several times in a row. And he has access to all the powerful moves from the game, from all the characters in the game. So basically, he can just kill you if he wants to, and that is freaking frustrating.
So it's a typical example of a fighting game boss that cheats?
Yeah, it is, and it's not new to Street Fighter. In Street Fighter 2, Bison was known as just this horrible cheating character, but he was limited in his moves, and you could actually develop a technique against him. The problem with Seth is that you usually get the first round just to build up your confidence, and in the second round it's like 50-50. If he wants to destroy you in a couple of seconds, he will. If he wants to get beaten, or if the game lets you beat him, you might actually win, but it's just far too random.
It does sound a bit like what I will feel when I go online playing Street Fighter 4.
Probably yes.
Against a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Street Fighter Master.
Just to sum things up, Street Fighter 4, is it everything we hoped it to be?
It is actually precisely what I hoped it would be. It's a really good iteration on a fighting series that still offers some of the best games ever in this kind of game, and it does exactly what it needs to do to actually be up to date. It updates the graphics in a really awesome way. It still uses the same gameplay, but makes it faster, makes it more fun, makes it more accessible, offers new options, and it's so well done. It's a game that clearly Capcom has just worked on and allowed these people to just do whatever they wanted with it while still keeping it within Street Fighter limits, and it just works.